Investing a couple of €1,000 and just riding off into the sunset with millions of dollars in your portfolio. I think this is why every one of us started being into altcoins. But is this still possible, and how do I identify the winning coins in this sheer endless ocean of altcoins? I've been in crypto since 2016 and I participated in 2 altcoin seasons. Back then there was maybe 50 altcoins on an exchange and not like today millions of altcoins. But I found a formula how you can identify coins that have a higher likelihood to win. And make sure you watch until the end, because I will show you not just which coins these are, but also when to buy them. During these 9 years in crypto, I've seen people making astronomical gains within weeks and losing them even faster, being left with nothing but a screenshot of their portfolio. Before I show you some of these high potential altcoins, I want to make sure that you understand I'm just some guy on YouTube. I'm in crypto since a while and it doesn't mean I know everything. So take everything with caution, do your own research, and make sure to stay safe and never put too much of your portfolio just into altcoins. The first coin I have on my radar is Cardano. Why? I will show you. This is the Cardano Bitcoin chart, and to understand why I picked Cardano, to identify a coin that has the potential to significantly outperform during a bull market, we have to look at its Bitcoin valuation. Of course, community marketing and so on are important, but price action, in my opinion, is king, especially when it comes to price targets and entry levels. So to identify the right time to buy Cardano, we have to look at its Bitcoin valuation. And if you look at this, we have the range low here, and last time we managed to go from the low about 1,500% up. Right now we tagged the range low almost, bounced back, and now we're coming down again. So far, Cardano made it to actually hold this range low. Most altcoins, they have one strong bull market and then they break their range low and just fall apart, and they're not even an oscillator against Bitcoin. So these are not the coins that I look at. So how do I calculate how much potential Cardano actually offers for us? Let's say Cardano comes back to the range low that we just looked at and manages to go high to the range top as it did last time and the cycle before against Bitcoin. And assume Bitcoin makes 140K. Let's go pessimistic here. Bitcoin makes 140K and Cardano goes back to its range high. This would put Cardano to a price of 730, something like that, which is a 12x from here and almost a 30x from the bottom. I think we still have a bit more room to the downside, and that's where I have my price level that I will show you at the end. Coin number 2, it's our good old buddy Ethereum. I think you might have given up on Ethereum, but let me show why I didn't and why you should maybe not give up on Ethereum. I remember how the sentiment was so low, and then I just saw Ethereum printing 7 green candles in a row, 7 monthly candles. So it was just 7 months up non-stop. Then we get to the point that everybody talks about the flippening, Ethereum taking over Bitcoin, and that's when you have to take your money and run. Same thing here that we saw at Cardano is we have the range, and Ethereum managed very, very well to hold the range low. If we look at the Ethereum US dollar valuation, you can see that we are bouncing on the RSI. I spoke about this on my Ethereum video. If you haven't watched it, I will mark it here for you. You should have a look at it to understand the potential of Ethereum. You can see on the RSI, we just start bouncing. Now we get very close to the confirmation of the range low. Usually what happens is that we tag this range low like we did last time, and then from there we go up. It coincidentally comes very close to the end of quantitative tightening, which we expect for in 2 or 3 weeks to happen. Last time this was the bottom for Ethereum, and you should know that Ethereum is the first mover in the altcoin market. Ethereum moves and then the other altcoins follow. So same thing on Ethereum. If we manage to go to the range highs, we speak about 400 to 600% gains, which would put Ethereum at a price of 10K in case Bitcoin goes to 140K. Me personally, I think the potential for Ethereum is even higher. I personally actually think that more than 10,000 euro Ethereum is possible in this cycle, because Ethereum tends to follow Bitcoin's path, which has to do with the network effect. If we take this into account, we talk about a 15 14k Ethereum, which would be a 10x from here and almost a 20x from the bottom. Coin number 3, Injective. In 2023, we already saw a massive rally for Injective, and it's very possible that now after the correction, we make it back to the range highs. We rallied about 1,700% against Bitcoin, and now we're almost back at the range low. It's very possible that we actually manage to find the bottom here and go back up. Why is that? If you look at the RSI, we had the bottom here and we are at the same level now, and it looks like this could be the bottom. Once we hit the bottom last time in 2022, it was the bottom, and now we're getting close. So if we can repeat this, this would be a 17x move against Bitcoin and therefore a 25x gain on its US dollar pair if we estimate a Bitcoin price of 140,000. There is a risk that Injective cannot repeat the same move within this cycle, but the upside is high and the chart looks very promising. That's why I put it on my list for an investment. I have another altcoin that doesn't have too much data, but I think will do very well, and that's Sui. Sui reminds me very much to Solana in its last cycle, and if it could repeat what Solana did last cycle, we talk about like a 15 to 20x from where we're standing right now. All in all, I have to say I don't think it's time to buy yet. I personally have two strategies when it comes to buy altcoins. One is I just wait for the end of QT and buy then. I'm sure that I'm not going to hit the bottom and I'm going to be a bit late, but I'm also not risking another 50% downside. Usually the end of quantitative tightening in the United States marks the end of the Bitcoin dominance cycle and is the time when Ethereum starts outperforming, and later on other altcoins are going to follow. Number 2 is when altcoins collectively touch the range low against Bitcoin. This has marked the beginning of the altcoin season in prior markets. And if you want to know more about the timing, make sure to watch my last video on altcoin season. I link it here and put it in the description for you. The last time we managed to tag the range low, it was the bottom. Same thing in 2017, but right now we still have some room to go before we bounce from here. And that's why I'm not buying yet, because there is another 28% downside risk for the collective altcoin market. Don't get me wrong, I think the prices right now are good, but I see some risk towards the upside, and that's why I'm not all in yet. As you see, we are getting close, and some altcoins offer a giant potential to actually make astronomical gains out of your money in probably a very short time period. So first question you might ask is, why 20x and not 100x altcoins when they are out there? Yes, they are out there, but I tell you, it's really hard to identify them. And to do so, you have to spend a lot of time on Reddit, on X, wherever, to find out, okay, what's the next hype? I have to be early. I have to leave early. I personally don't like it because my life doesn't happen just in front of the screen. The trading is part of it, but I don't want to spend all my time just searching on forums for the next hype coin, and it's stressful. It's stressful for me. It's too stressful. So I just focus on the coins that have a strong foundation, that have strong data, but that means that I might miss some of the most hype early projects. For me, that's okay. A 20x is still so much more than you get in every stock. I'm sure there will be some newer projects that outperform even more than a 20x or the coins that I just showed you. It's very hard to get them right. I have some single bets, but let's see where they go. Which altcoins are you buying? And would you like an analysis of your specific altcoin, where it could go in case everything goes right? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my buy signal when we actually reach the points where I go all in. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao.